things. Spicy questions, spicier wings.
Hosting this episode of Spicy Things. This will be a makeup for January. Don't ask how we got the February done first. But I am your host, Miles Brooks, for this episode of Spicy Things with Spicy Wings. And I am here with
Coach Samia.
Would you like to tell us anything about yourself before we get the questions going?
Well, so I am in my first year here at New Braunfels as the wrestling coach. Really enjoyed my time here. I come from a school in the San Antonio district where I coached for 4 years before. But I'm happy to be a unicorn. Happy to be here.
All right, we love to hear that. What would you say to anyone that is thinking about joining the New Braunfels wrestling team?
Well, what do you think, Miles? You were in your first year as a wrestler for us. How was it for you?
I enjoyed it a lot. It was definitely the toughest sport I'd ever been in.
Yeah.
But I think it was very rewarding, and it taught me to just wait out that second longer, and that
There you go.
no matter how bad it is, just push forward and you always get through it.
How bad it is. Well, so, the reason why I wanted you to answer that question is because that's usually the best way to get people introduced to it, is to hear from somebody who's been in it and been through it, especially as a new wrestler like yourself. I can sit here and say how great of a sport it is, but hearing it from somebody who's been through it like you, one of your peers, I think that makes the most sense. It's the greatest sport, but it is hard, right? But if you like hard work and you want to challenge yourself, then please, come be a part of the team, be part of the family, right? And that's how I look at it. We're a big family, right? And we're always having our doors open for anybody who wants to join us.
Yeah, you will always be welcomed on the team.
Absolutely.
Now for our second question. You're not a quiet person. Your voice carries well. What were some of the very unique situations you had while coaching two deaf wrestlers?
That's a good question. Should we be now?
Yes,
Yep.
we should.
Oh, that one's nothing. I wish we had more sauce to dip in. But that is a good question. Coaching the deaf wrestlers on my team at Highlands was probably one of the most rewarding parts of being a coach. They had such a unique aspect of who they were as people and how that translated to the sport of wrestling, because they had been through much harder and more difficult things than a wrestling match. Coming up as deaf athletes, and how they had to adjust to their circumstances. It just made them tougher individuals, right? And it was such a privilege to get to coach them because of how tough they were. They never backed down from a challenge. They never, batted an eyelash at how hard a situation was, right? They just went out and wrestled. And on top of that, they were both great human beings, so it was a privilege to coach them, and then looking back and seeing them on the mat this year as a coach for another school was really cool, because I got to see them continue to put in that work and that effort, right? But yeah, they were really special human beings, and I wish them all the best, and I really hope that their success will continue.
Did you expect that? Did you expect them to be better, or was it like kind of a pleasant surprise on how they were so strong in the face of adversity?
It was a surprise. So many times, we like to expect less from people, right? What are they not able to do? And when you talk about athletes or wrestlers with disabilities, you kind of focus more on what would they not be able to do, instead of what are they able to do, right? But they were capable of doing so much. The young lady who wrestled for me, she ended up making it to the regional tournament and going 2-2 there. And then this year she was the district champion, right? So, she didn't put any limits on herself, so why should other people put limits on her? So yes, I was surprised. It was a pleasant surprise to see just how much they were capable of.
Okay. Now for our third question. This involves a picture, so I hope you're ready for this one. What's going on with you right here?
Where at? Oh my gosh, this is my prom photo?
Class clown,
Yeah,
and Samia.
that's me. So that was the other class clown at our school. And in true class clown fashion, we thought it was a good idea for her to give me a piggyback ride. So yeah, I was significantly smaller as a human being back then too, right? So it was a little easier to put me on their back. But yeah, no, I mean, in high school, yeah, I was a goofball. That's kind of just the only way to put it, which is funny now because as a teacher, and I deal with goofballs in the class, and my patience isn't nearly as high as it should be, right? Knowing who I was as a high schooler, but it was just part of who I was, and it made me who I am today too, that goofy side of me.
Now, for this next question, I'd like you to take this wing.
Okay. All right, so we're building up now.
I love
Okay.
this one.
Yeah, that one has a little kick to it. Yeah, that's good though.
Do you say you're from Houston, or is Cypress clearly its own city?
So it's usually easier to tell people that I'm from Houston, as opposed to Cypress, because a lot of people don't realize where Cypress is. But when I say what high school I went to, I'm gonna take a little bit of water. When I tell people I went to Cy-Fair High School, that usually rings a bell. It was a really big school. We had somewhere around 5,000 people on campus when I graduated. So people usually recognize Cy-Fair. So I'll usually start with Houston, especially for people not from Texas. But then they say, oh, where at? And I can focus in on Cypress from there. I get a chance to go back every now and then, and it grows every time I go there. So it's really cool to just see the growth over there in that area anytime I get a chance to go.
That's good. Okay. Now let's go.
Okay.
The next one. We're just ramping up.
How was that one?
That one, I don't know too bad.
Okay.
This one is definitely good. I think.
I taste there's definitely some like ghost pepper in there. Taste that one. Oh, that's good though.
Okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You struggling there, Miles?
I think I'm good. I think I can handle it. Of all the great fictional quarterbacks, whether in TV or movie, why'd you do a social media post saying Willie Beeman is the GOAT?
Oh, gosh. Miles, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if I remember who Willie Beeman is. Who's Willie Beeman?
Sharks.
From...
Any Given Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, he was the GOAT. Great movie. Great movie. I was probably... You happen to have a year on that?
No, you're not. I don't have a year here.
2017. So I was probably just laying on the couch being lazy on a Saturday when I posted that. Oh, man, it's so embarrassing to go back and look at Facebook posts from when I was a teenager and in college because they're just embarrassing. I just rambled all the time. Yeah. So I mean, Willie Beeman is a great quarterback, right? He had quick feet. He's very, very, very speedy. So I would say if he was a real quarterback, I'd put him down as the GOAT for sure. I think he'd beat out anybody on the real field.
Is he a college quarterback? Is that like a...
No, he was, the premise to the movie was he was the up-and-comer, right? So he was the young guy and he was taking the job from the old guy. But he was flashy, he talked a lot of smack, right? But nobody doubted his ability. So clearly I did not doubt his ability either. Yeah, okay, talented guy. Who played him? Who played Willie Beeman? Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
All right, now.
All right, last one here. Oh, this one looks spicy. Okay.
You try and go for the extra spice.
I want all the spice.
I will say, out of any teacher, no one's gone for the extra mile to get every bit of it.
Good, man. I like spice. I'll usually regret that decision. There's a restaurant in town called Smoke Shack. They do a hot chicken sandwich, and I got the hottest one they had to offer.
Oh my God.
I could take like 4 bites, and then I was out for the rest of the day. It was miserable. It was the worst day of my life.
What was on the sandwich?
It was just,
Like,
yeah, just typical Nashville hot, but they just cranked it up so much. So if you get a chance, Smoke Shack, no, Cook Shack, that's what it is. If you get a chance to go to Cook Shack, try it out.
all right, we'll do. So,
Yeah, it's burning a little bit. Good.
I think I might spec into my water a little bit. Do you have any words of encouragement for all the unicorns?
Well, so first thing I would have to say for all unicorns is you guys are incredible, okay? The student body here at this school is something special. The work ethic, the respect, the attitude that I've seen across campus is unrivaled. It's really not matched anywhere else. So remember that, right? Remember that you guys are special. And this goes out across the board, not just athletes, but everybody, right? Unicorns are special, and the student body embodies that, right? So just remember that. Carry that with you as you finish high school, you go out into the real world, right? Remember that you are something special. For my athletes, okay, everybody's talented, right? But you've got to put in the effort. Got to put in the work ethic, right? Because there's going to come a point where you meet somebody as talented as you, right? And the winner of that situation is going to be who works harder. You can apply that really anywhere. Wrestling, any sport, any situation in life, right? You've got to outwork everybody else. So just keep working hard and putting in the effort, and good things will come to you.
All right, thank you. That's been a great episode of Spicy Things. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for the next one.
Thanks for having me, Miles. Appreciate you, buddy.